something that I think many of us are familiar with. I don't know exactly how to put it, but I'm just going to say when you're struggling. And when I say when you're struggling, I mean when you're struggling emotionally, mentally. It could happen just because, I mean, the fact that you're neurodivergent is more than enough reason for you to struggle with your mental health. And the problem is because many of us struggle with alexithymia, we wouldn't know until it gets to a critical point, until it hits us in the face, and then we'll realize, oh, so I'm sad. So I'm back in this dark place. How do I get out? And then many times we panic. Am I going to get out? How long before I get out? How do I get out? I want to get out immediately. What do I do? And if we know that it's because of something we're struggling with in our real lives, that is leading to this emotional struggles, then we might decide, oh, I need to do something pronto. I don't know what I can do. I tried almost everything I know how to do, but I need to do something right now. Because if I do something right now, then maybe it will be able to alleviate this emotional pain that I'm in. It's very human. And I'm thinking about all of this morning because I wanted to take a walk yesterday morning, but I'm not going to go into details, but let's just say I was struggling. I was really struggling. Last time it happened that way was maybe 2 years ago. I would say about 2 years ago. At the end of the day, after all the talking to myself, I was able to make myself do something productive. I made myself get dressed and get out of the house and take that walk that morning. I took that walk, even though what I wanted to do was to lie down in bed, curl up and hide under the blankets. So back to my original point, which is that many times the alexithymia affects us. Actually, we don't know that we're struggling. You cannot feel it the way you expect to feel emotions, but you can tell. All of a sudden, you realize, oh, you've been having like these allergies for no reason, seemingly no reason, or you've been having insomnia for seemingly no reason at all. So you sleep quite all right. You wake up by 2:30 a.m. and it becomes a problem to go back to sleep until maybe like 5 o'clock. And you have to wake up by 5:30. So now you end up waking up late almost every morning. Or the headaches come and you start wondering why you're having all these headaches. And if you struggle with migraines, which I'm so grateful I don't struggle with, if you struggle with migraines, then I pray for you, because that's a whole other level of headaches that I cannot even imagine. All of a sudden, if you've got digestive issues, which many of us have, all of a sudden your peptic ulcer begins to flare up, and your IBS begins to flare up, and your this begins to flare up, and your that begins to flare up, and you've eaten nothing that you're not supposed to eat. So what's the issue? The issue is the stress, my dear. You still don't realize it, then you think you're fine, and then you wake up the next morning and you're crying, and subsequent to that, you think, oh, let me figure out what it is that is causing this state, because if I can figure it out, then I should be able to do something about it. At the end of it all, I'm grateful that I forced myself to take the walk that I did yesterday morning. I did not record because I don't know. I know some people do it where they're struggling and they record themselves through their struggles just to be able to show people how it is and to be able to maybe help somebody else. I'm sorry, but I couldn't. I just couldn't, because where I was, I could not imagine waking up like I'm trying to film. But what I can do is to talk about it and let somebody who might be in that same state know that it's a temporary thing. You're in that state is a temporary state. Every state you're in on the surface of this earth is a temporary state. The moment you stop expecting your state to last forever, the more you can be at peace. I'm really glad I made myself take that walk yesterday morning. By the time I took that walk, for at the very least 40 minutes. I think it was about 43 minutes or 42 minutes. I actually felt better, a lot better, because you have to do physical movement, especially if you do it to the extent that you begin to sweat. It's very likely that you'll get those endorphins that help you feel better. Those are filled with hormones, and maybe it won't be as huge as that of somebody who just ran or who jogged or did high intensity exercise, but walking works. And walking around also distracts you, I think. So it distracts you from what's going on inside of you, distracts you from thinking and overthinking, and allowing your brain move all over the place, which increases your pain. It just allows you to focus on the things around you that stimulate you, like, I don't know, sounds, smells, the sight of people doing stuff and you watching them and getting amused. Animals doing stuff, you realize that you might not be perfect, but you feel, somewhat better. From there, because you feel slightly better, you can have a clear mind, and just feeling better will help push you to be able to do other things that you need to do to be able to feel even more better. Like caring for yourself, like getting something to eat, like talking to your family, like talking to friends. Just talking. I'm not even talking about like sharing what you're going through or anything. Just talking or engaging with them might actually work and make you feel better. Doing that physical exercise, just walking, prevents you from doing something drastic in the moment when you're struggling. Or prevent you from taking a step, taking a life decision, making a life decision, doing something to yourself, with yourself, or to someone else, with someone else, or on yourself, or just doing something, drastic, or something unthinking, or due to your emotional state, and that is very likely unwise. And that's what happens with a lot of people, where they're in that emotional state and they make decisions, life-altering decisions, and they do things, they take steps. And those steps, they'll end up regretting those steps, and they'll end up regretting the consequences of those steps. Because the steps were wrong steps and they took them when they were emotionally compromised. You want to make decisions with a clear head. You do not ever want to make decisions emotionally. Well, some decisions you definitely want to make emotionally. Some decisions it's okay if you're spontaneous with them, but let me try this please. Most life-altering decisions, any decision that you cannot change, any decision that you know is going to be permanent, then you want to make sure you make it with a clear head, not emotionally. Okay? Otherwise, you might come to regret the consequences of such a decision, and those consequences and that regret will follow you. Good morning. So my point is, sometimes when you're struggling, after crying, the best you can do is talk to yourself, force yourself to move. Moving is one of the best things you can do when you're struggling. I knew that, and that's why I forced myself to get up. I knew that I wanted to do anything but get up. Moving is one of the best things you can do. One of the worst things you can do is to allow yourself to do your body to do what it actually feels like doing, which is to lie down in one corner, suck on your thumb, or pick out your phone and start doom scrolling or whatever. Because that just puts you in a whole other situation that might make your situation worse. So sometimes when you feel emotionally compromised, one of the best things you can do is wipe your tears, blow your nose, get dressed, and try as much as possible not to look like what you're going through. Try as much as possible not to look like your problems. If your eyes are red or swollen, pick up a pair of glasses or sunshades, whatever is appropriate for the time. Put them on so that nobody will see your face, and learn the way you're supposed to smile in the mirror before leaving out, because you're going to encounter people and you have to smile, and your smile has to look nothing like what you're going through on the inside. Okay? And that is how to survive. That is your basic survival guide for someone who is struggling emotionally. 101. That's a very long name for a course, isn't it? I'm just going to stop now. This is getting ridiculous. Guys, I think I might have gotten lost. I'm going to try to find my way back, but oh my god. I don't do this. I try not to do this. Whenever I'm going somewhere that I'm not familiar with, I try not to take convoluted routes because I know I have a thing about navigation problems. Never go anywhere that I'm unfamiliar with without marking mentally all the turns I took and in what directions. And sometimes I still get it wrong. When I was coming this way, maybe because I was talking on the phone, maybe because I was talking in here, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to where I was turning. But I think I can find my way out because I really do not want to get lost. Okay, I think I can find where I initially came in. I'm grateful. Yeah, okay. See, sometimes it works. Now, as I'm growing, I think it works even better, and I try not to take too many convoluted paths, such that I'll forget how many turns I've taken and what turns exactly I took. And the moment I start to lose count of the turns, then, or the moment it begins to get very convoluted, the path, then I begin to panic inside and I tell myself, oh my god, you're lost. And that makes me turn around and find my way back out. One of the other accommodations I make for the navigation issues that I have is to make sure I always carry money with me, like change, so that if I get to a place where I genuinely cannot find my way back, and because I've been walking for a long time, then I'll just look for a bike or a cab and get out of there. And most times in most places, even if you cannot find a cab, you'll definitely find a bike that will bring you out of there. So that's something I do. But I don't have any change with me right now. I don't have any cash with me right now. Because I wasn't planning to disgrace myself by getting lost. So I genuinely cannot afford, literally, to get lost. I'm back on the main road. Well, not on the main road, but on the main street where I started from. This is nice. Try to move. And I said walking because walking is like a low threshold type of thing. The least, like one of the things you don't have when you're struggling is that you don't have the energy to be jumping, like skipping. You don't have the energy for high intensity exercise. You don't have the energy for aerobics. You definitely do not feel like going to the gym. You don't have the energy for jogging or running. If those are some of the things you like to do, but you can try to make yourself walk. It's better to walk outside. One of the best things you can do is just walk. There's a first chance after you walk, and walk for at the very least 40 minutes. I would say anything between 35 to 45 minutes. 45 minutes is like what I would recommend, but if you can get 40 minutes, that's great. I'm going to stop here and walk this remaining stretch of road by myself while I'm enjoying the sounds of the birds chirping and the sides of the trees. What I'm really enjoying the most this morning is the breeze. I haven't felt this breeze in a long time, and I'm really grateful about the rain. I didn't find any animals this morning. That's a bummer. I like encountering animals on my walk. I believe this is called Izora. I don't know the name of this one. This one is Mariah. When the flowers bloom, they have white flowers. And when the flowers bloom, it's a very beautiful thing. It smells amazing. I believe this is Tuja. And this is a royal palm. Again, very beautiful. I took a semester of botany how many years ago? In my first year of university. So what this plant, but I can't remember the name right now. And this is what we call Zogali. This plant, this tree is what we call Zogali. People eat it raw. Well, they eat it steamed as part of a whole snack. Kind of like a salad type snack type of thing. And the properties they add to it actually make it edible. Not something that will drive you crazy. People actually take it as part of a snack. And in the South, people are crazy about it genuinely because there's this whole thing about it being medicinal and it's been able to cure cancer and it's been able to cure this and that and diabetes and oh my god, everything can cure everything. So they make it as tea. If you take it as tea, then the smell will drive you nuts. I've never taken it as tea because the smell. Once you try to boil it, and in a way, we've tried to boil it in my house a couple of times, so everybody else took it, but I particularly struggle with smells, and the smell makes you want to throw up. So I struggle with most leaves like that, but the smell really is so strong that it makes you want to throw up. Even when the scent might be pleasant ordinarily, if it becomes concentrated, it becomes too strong, especially when you try to heat it into tea. I don't know, at this point I'm just thinking about different random things. But I'm about to end my vlog this morning. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm just grateful for the way the weather is, and I'm grateful for the way I feel, and I'm grateful that I'm able to smile this morning without having had to pretend or learn how to smile in the mirror. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. If you're struggling, just hang in there. It's a temporary state.